In a podcast land where thoughts collide, Brian and Craig will be your guide. No topic too small, no tale too tall. Tune in, laugh out, you'll have a ball. From mysteries deep to light-hearted jokes in a poker rhythm where laughter invokes. Untitled is their name, the fun untamed. Each episode a ride, this shows their claim. Untitled, Brian and Craig, get ready for a twist and a leg shake. In a quirky world where anything goes, join the ride as the madness flows.
Yes, it's been a while.
It has. Brian,
Yeah.
the haters, they said we'd never get to episode 30. They said, there's no way Brian and Craig could possibly record that many episodes of this nonsense. But I'm here to tell you, oh yeah?
You're wrong.
You're wrong. we just,
We did
this
it.
is episode 30. We've done it. Congratulations.
We
We've done it. We've done it, Brian.
We did it. Hold on.
Yeah.
You don't see it, but right now there's a parade of raccoons in the streets.
That's great. There's a big battleship with a banner that says mission accomplished behind it, which seems excessive and maybe preliminary, but I'm here for it.
You know what? We'll take the recognition where we can get it.
Absolutely. For sure.
Oh, right, I forgot the goose warning. The goose
Okay.
warning is it can't be level 0, but I think it's level 1. There's no goose, and I have not seen a goose all week, so.
Okay. So
But
it's like
they're
when
there,
it's
watching.
like when the terror level warning was at yellow. It's basically there's nothing happening. But we can't say it's green.
That was such a weird time in American history. It really, really was.
Here's a rainbow scale to tell you how much in danger you are at all times.
What happens when it's pink? Oh, that's gay communists. What?
It's not pink, it's chartreuse. What?
It's a light red.
Yeah, it's magenta. Magenta. Magenta terror level warning. We don't know what it means, but we have color swatches, so you can compare it. And if you'd like to paint your room that way, great.
That was such a weird time in American history.
It's good. Yeah, I kind of miss it, which is weird to say,
Well, I mean,
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
yeah.
I'm doing electroshock. Don't go there. Don't go there.
Don't go to the dump.
Oh,
So, Craig, it's been a while. So, I
it's
think
been a while since we could podcast out loud. I don't know why I needed to do that. I'm sorry.
I don't know why I needed to do that.
I ask for apologies for invoking. Who is that? What is that awful? Is that Stained? Who sings that
I
song?
think that's Stained. Yeah.
Yeah, I apologize. That's not. I'm better than that. I shouldn't have done that, and I really regret it. So I'm gonna try to make up for it for the rest of the show.
Yeah. Work harder. Thanks. Preach. Preach. We should inform the affiliates we're going along tonight, and the other thing
Good
is
Good chance of that. Yes.
yes, and I just wanted to apologize for not editing because I do have some edits. I do have 2 episodes edited. Long story short, my real life job has been brutal the last 2 weeks. Not like terrible or anything, just when you have to fill in for people, that kind of thing, when they go on vacation and shit. So
Yeah, that
that's
happened.
what it was. Yeah, it happens. And I'm not saying, hey, don't do that. I'm just saying when you have to fill in, it on top of your normal job, it gets to you. So that's it.
Yeah, for sure. I have received a few texts like, "Oh man, this has been rough." So I feel for you.
Yeah. So that's the apology. But I want to go first because I went to 2 big things. 3
Ooh,
big
I know
things.
one of them. I know one of them, but I don't know what the other one is. I'm excited to hear about it.
So the first one I want to tell you about happened today.
Okay.
Today. So I keep my same overnight schedule. Right.
Oh,
my
okay. I was
days
gonna
off.
say it's 11 o'clock in the morning. How could you? But I forget you're a vampire. So
Correct.
yes.
I am too extreme for Buffalo. I never sleep.
No one understands that but me. But that was a good joke.
That was a good joke. Yeah. We won't tell you because that was from the last episode. So
Yes, clearly.
clearly a lost episode. But anyways, so I woke up and I did some stuff and I'm like, man, I'm really tired. I'm gonna go back to bed. So I went back to bed and I woke up again. And then I was trying to finish Severance season 2, and I passed out. like just dozed off, no recollection of actually doing it.
Oh no.
And I had, and so one of my cats was sleeping on my lap as she often does, and my brain was like, "Oh, there's weight on your lap." Which means in Dreamland, that is a horrible monkey creature that is sleeping on your lap.
Oh no, your poor cat.
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't like do anything, but in the dream, I was like, "Oh my god, what is this thing?" And I like take it off and open the door and shoo it away. And I'm like, "What is this? Like, what? How does this thing keep getting in our house?" And I'm talking to her about it. She's like, "Oh, that's Greg." I'm like, "How does Greg, the weird monkey creature, keep getting into our house?" "Oh, through the Greg door." I'm like, "Why do we have a Greg door?" Yeah, and I'm like.
There's an evil monkey creature. His name is Greg. Well, clearly we should not lock the Greg door so that he can get in and get on my lap at any time.
And like it didn't really do anything except sleep on my lap, and I'm like, what the fuck is this thing? So the Greg door, yeah.
I love the Greg door so much.
I don't know. You know you're tired when your subconscious is that bizarre. Oh God. The other thing is, I finished Severance season 2. No big spoilers,
but it's awesome.
I will say I slept on it, and it is probably the second, if not the first, best show airing right now.
Dude, I've been trying to tell you this. I'm so happy that you finished it. We don't have to talk about it on the air, but
yeah. The only thing I'm going to say is the end of season 2, my jaw hit the floor. That's all I'm going to say.
No, I'm going to say. That's reasonable. Oh, that's a reasonable reaction to that show. And
yeah. So. Also, this is a light spoiler. I like how they ended it. How they ended the season, like the Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid thing, where they just like take a big photo and they just like put on the photo. Yeah,
it's pretty good. It is very good. I also like that song that's at the end of it. You know what I'm talking about. It suited it very well.
Yes,
that's pretty good to talk about the ending without actually giving any spoilers. That's pretty good. Good job. But yeah, listeners, if you haven't already watched Severance, watch Severance because it's great.
Yes. Anyways, and the final thing is I went to New York City.
New York City.
Okay, you are the most devious bastard in all. A New York
City.
Yeah. Anyways.
I'm glad that we both get that reference. So anyway, yeah, go ahead. Please tell us about Go Fest.
Okay, so we drove. It didn't take long. It only took like 6 hours. It wasn't awful, like, at all. So, the only awful part was driving through, like, northern Pennsylvania, because my brother in Christ, there is nothing there except, like, woods. Like, nothing, like, literally nothing there.
I've driven through Wyoming. I hear you, but I've also driven through Wyoming. So I call your northern Pennsylvania, and I raise you Wyoming.
Oh, I've driven through a lot of Wyoming, and it is a shithole. There's nothing in Wyoming.
What? Nothing there. There's like 8 people in the entire state. Like that's like, I'm pretty sure the last census, that's what they found. There's 8 people.
Yes, and as we know, I have severe hatred for the state of Wyoming because every time I've driven through that, I've always had weird interactions with people. And also, one time when I was driving from Utah to Colorado, I stopped by Wamstutter. Shout out to Wamstutter, Wyoming, the worst gas station in the country. I went to a Love's gas station because I'm like, oh, I have to pee and get gas. So I got gas and I went to go pee. And I flipped open the light. And Craig, my brother in Catholicism, when I say I flipped on that light and I saw... You ever see a horror movie when like all the cockroaches like just disperse? That's exactly what happened.
Gross.
And I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'd rather pee in a ditch.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, gross.
Yeah. So
I've had better interactions in the state of Wyoming, but it's still there's nothing there. It's very... Although I did go to a Wyoming football game, which I highly recommend. Quite fun. And that was back when our Lord and Savior Josh Allen was playing quarterback for them.
Oh,
so
wow.
Yeah, so I actually got to see him play in person. A thing which I will do in a few months again.
Yes, we like to forget that he's from Wyoming. At least I do. I just ignore that.
That's where he went to school, dog. So
No, he just appeared in Buffalo as Buffalo
as a fully
Jesus.
formed quarterback as Buffalo
Yes,
Jesus.
yes,
Okay,
exactly.
okay, I see.
He just appeared like Immaculate Conception. He just popped in. They drafted him, and there we go.
There he
Yes,
is
there he is.
from the
That's what I choose
University
to believe.
of Immaculate Reception. Immaculate Reception.
Immaculate Reception. Okay,
I
that's
can't.
good.
I can't take credit for that. There's a play in the 1970s between the
Oh.
Pittsburgh Steelers and the Oakland Raiders, like the last play of the game where a ball like bounced off of something, and then Franco Harris for the Steelers catches it and runs it in for a touchdown to win the game on the last play, and that's called the Immaculate Reception. So
Oh.
I didn't make it up. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Demerit.
Fair enough. But you didn't know that, so I could have taken credit for it.
You
So see,
could have taken credit for it.
I have integrity because truth comes first, Brian.
Get the fuck out, Craig. Anyways, so there was nothing in Pennsylvania except Amish people and forest, which is fine, and farms,
Okay.
also fine.
Yeah.
But like, there's nothing there. So
there wasn't a bathroom full of cockroaches.
there was not a bathroom full of cockroaches. There was a very clean Love's gas station, which I approve
That's
of.
good. Yeah. Well, I don't entirely approve of Love's because they sponsor the Oklahoma City Thunder, and I really want them to lose the NBA final. They've got a big patch that says Love's right on their shoulder, and it looks so. Their uniforms would actually look pretty good, but they have a giant Love's logo on their shoulder, and it looks awful. Plus, I hate them, and I want them to lose. So I don't entirely approve of Love's, but I will stop at a Love's because it is a nice gas station. It's just a bad sponsor patch on an NBA jersey. But I digress.
On a team that we hate, mutually hate. We mutually hate the Oklahoma City Thunder. Yes.
Correct. So go Pacers in the NBA Finals.
Yeah, go Pacers.
Series is tied 2-2.
Yes. Anyways.
Anyway.
So I went to get gas, and we're driving. So basically, what we did is we went south through Pennsylvania. We stopped off in we tried to stop in Scranton, but shout out to Dunler Mifflin, and we drove through Scranton, and then we entered in through New Jersey to go through the Hudson Tunnel or Harrison Tunnel or something like that. Anyways, so we end up in Jersey City, and I'm like, I'm a little bit low on gas. So I open the door, and some dude is there. I'm like, holy shit, where did you come from? And he's like, hey man, what kind of gas you want? I'm like, unleaded? And he goes, all right, how you paying? Card? And he's just like looking at me, and he's like, okay, you've never been to Jersey before. It's full service. I'm like, oh, okay. That makes sense. Okay.
I didn't realize Jersey still... Oregon used to do that. They just recently removed the requirement to have someone else do that for you. But Jersey, you have to have someone else still got gas for you?
Apparently.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. But anyways, a fun fact about Oregon, though, when they repealed that law, people were like riding in the streets. And we're like, who's gonna pump our gas? It's like you fucking idiot.
You are like everywhere else in the world except apparently New Jersey.
Yeah, it was really funny. I had a friend that lived in Oregon, and she was there for that, and they were like, it was insane. Like people, like how when they had that big thing in like, was it like 10 years ago or 15 years ago now, when they were like, the South will rise again, and then they got hit by the first bomb cyclone. And like everyone like forgot how to drive, and like there are tankers on fire and shit, and they had to get a bunch of FEMA aid. Do you remember that?
Not specifically. The South will rise again has been around for quite some time. I think I don't remember it being a 10-year ago thing, but okay.
Well, it was this big like resurgence thing where they were like, it was some big resurgence thing, and it was just so funny because I'll never forget the picture. It's this woman. It's snowing. It's on like some road in Tennessee. Her car's off in a ditch with the door and the hood open. Looks like the back of her like SUV is smashed. She's on the phone crying. She's wearing a tank top, shorts, and sandals. And like in the back is a tanker on fire. And I'm not kidding. You can look this up, and it looks, and I'm like, this is fake, right? And it's like, no, it was taken by someone in there, and she's holding a baby. The baby's is wailing. There's someone like wandering around, like, like after a plane crash, like shell shocked. It was wild. And like the day before it, the headline was like Southern Resurgence, and like the next day was like, oh God help us, it's the snowpocalypse. Hilarious.
God's like, not so quick, South.
Not so quick, guys. Yeah, but anyways, so we pull off in New Jersey, we go through the tunnel, and driving in New York City is the worst. Apparently, I have a friend that I made here, and he says it's almost like driving in India, but driving in India is much, much worse. And I'm like, okay, I can see it because people just will walk in front of you and get mad. I'm like, dude, you didn't even have like in New York City, like they're just walk in front of you. I'm like, dude, what the hell?
They're walking here. Come on.
Yeah, oh, get out. Another demerit.
I like collecting demerits. This is fun. I have a new goal. See how many I can get. Maybe I'll get a suspension after school.
In school suspension where you have to write "I will not be a jackass" 100 times.
I make no such promises.
In
Ugh.
fact, I actually had to do that. I had to write like "I will not interrupt." I was like a junior in high school, and I was like "I will not disrupt class." I had to write it like 100 times or some silly thing like that. I'm like, what is this, 1951?
File that under least surprising thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's good. I like it. That's funny.
Anyways, so back to the actual story. We
Yes,
drive
yes, yes.
to the place, and we're in Manhattan near Wall Street is where we were staying, which was a nice hotel, admittedly.
What's it? Oh, that's where I stayed a year ago. What hotel was it?
Doubletree, I think.
Okay, I think I was at the Marriott. I don't know. I don't remember exactly. I was
Oh,
like super close to the bowl, which I'm sure we'll get to.
yes. And you wait, were you like right next to like some weird Italian restaurant?
I don't know, man. It's New York. There's a lot of weird Italian restaurants.
Not wrong. Anyways, so we basically parked our car in like a garage and never touched it again because I'm like, yeah, I'm not dealing with that. That was stressful as hell.
Oh, why would you drive in Manhattan? That's like you hate yourself so much.
Well, newsflash. I hate myself, apparently.
Oh no! Oh no!
Anyways, so we did that, and when I was like, oh, great, we're finally here, and it was a little bit hot in the car, and I rolled down the window, and the two worst smells hit my nostril, and that was the smell of garbage and the smell of urine, and I'm like, yes, New York City.
New York City. I will say this about New York City. You will simultaneously smell some of the absolute best things ever and some of the worst things ever. And sometimes within like a 32-second interval.
Correct.
So
yeah,
there is that.
I played a ton of Pokemon Go and had some fairly decent but overpriced food. So
yeah,
I'll say
okay.
That. The other thing, just decent. Well, it's not just decent.
Those are the best meals of my life in New York City. It's so good. There's
You haven't been to Buffalo. So
truth. I've got my own personalized guide for my trip, so I'm excited for that.
Yes. So you have to take a ferry to get to Liberty State Park. So we get on the ferry, and we're going to the ferry, and it's torrentially raining, like
that sucks.
Rain Band, The End of the World. You ever see that movie 2012?
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
It was like that.
Animals are lining up 2 by 2 to get on the boat.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yes, it was awful. So, and then as soon as we touched down, gone. Like sunny skies, cloudy skies. It was wild. It was insane.
Nice.
So we played for hours and hours and hours, and then as soon as we were leaving, another torrential rain band.
But you timed that really well then.
Yeah. So, anyways, and that was my Pokemon Go experience. Oh, and we also met with Kate's sister and her husband when they were both really nice. And then I went to the Nintendo World Store, which was pretty cool. Yes, great store. And then I went to the Lego store, New York Citay, and spent way too much money.
Cool.
So, those of you who are curious, the PD Piranha set from Super Mario, the Bumblebee Transformers, the classic one, the bug.
Cool.
And the Legend of Zelda. Yeah, that's the spin-off they don't want you to know about.
Legend of Zelda. It was a Sega version. It was not.
Yeah, it was a Sega version. Which is funny because I was a Sega kid growing up, but I digress.
Oh no.
Hey, you've never lived until you've played Decap Attack and Phantasy Star, so I don't want to hear it.
I was a Nintendo kid, so that's fine. I'll allow it.
Well, Sega now. Anyways, I'll take you to the right side, or at least expose you to some good stuff.
Hey, Brian. Sega does what Nintendo don't.
Thank you. Oh,
You're
you
welcome.
get
You're welcome.
you get a merit star. So
Oh,
you're
oh man, I lost a demerit. Dang it! I'm
yeah.
going to
So
the
you're
wrong.
now sitting at 1 demerit.
Oh,
But anyways, yeah. And then I went to the Lego store and I got the Great Deku Tree, which is pretty cool. So
but did you get the calico cat that I sent you? The picture.
no, I didn't. So I have a few more sets I really want to get to round out the year, and that's the Jaws set, the cat, and oh my god, there's one more. There's one more, and I forgot what it was.
I don't know. Well, for those of you
Anyways,
who aren't Brian, I sent him a picture of this box that has like I think it's a tuxedo cat actually, not a
it's a
calico cat.
tuxedo cat, yeah.
Yeah. And like an actual tuxedo cat had gotten into the box, and it was just very, very cute because it was a tuxedo cat that's a real cat inside of a tuxedo cat Lego box,
Yes.
and
Oh,
it was just
okay.
great.
So Jaws, Tuxedo Cat, Super Mario World, Mario and Yoshi, and the Mario Kart Mario Lego set.
I didn't know you were a Lego kid.
Dude, I love Legos. I have probably thousands of dollars in Lego sets I still haven't opened.
Oh no, they haven't even opened. Okay, you
No.
gotta get busy, man. You gotta build some. I am not very good at Lego.
Oh, dude.
I just don't have the patience for it. I respect it. Like one of my really good friends here in Denver, who I've known since I was like 5 years old, is like you. He has thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of Legos. Like you go to his house and it's like a Lego museum. Like there's just like giant
Oh, yeah.
airplanes and Star Wars sets and all sorts of things everywhere you go, and like old Lego space things. And yeah, it's cool. I just don't have the patience nor the technical ability to build them. I just get frustrated very quickly, and then I don't want to do this. And so I've decided that it's more for me to look at than it is for me to participate in. But I appreciate the hobby. I think it's cool. It's not for me.
Well, good. I appreciate that. But yeah, that was pretty much it. Oh, and then the drive back was pretty uneventful, except we went to White Castle. So that
Well,
was
that's
cool.
eventful. Going to White Castle.
Yeah, I haven't been to White Castle in years.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
I like White Castle. I mean, they're just
It's okay for what it is. Like it's
yeah, it's just sliders.
little greasy burgers. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
good. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Nice. Well, I'm
that's
excited.
it.
Did you get any cool Pokemon that you can trade me that I don't have?
Yes, I have many shiny phalanx that
Oh
look
yeah,
like train conductors. Or that look
those are
like
cool.
trains.
I think those are available for everyone in a couple of weeks at the like
But
the
I
World
do
Cup.
have some Bouffalants, some Skiddos. I have a myriad of all the different types of Pikachus with the monocle, which you can't get.
That's the
So
one I need. Yeah, that's the one I need
yeah.
because you can only get
So
that one in
I
the
have
first one. So
I
save one of
have
those for me.
many of them.
Any of those? Oh, well, save 3 of those for me so I can have a nice little row of 3.
Well, the best part is there's 4 different versions. So I will trade you
Oh,
exactly 4.
oh, geez. Okay, cool. All right, that works.
Yes.
That's fun.
Yeah.
What was I going to tell you? I'm glad to hear that you had a good time at Pokemon Go Fest. That's good. That's why we
Yes.
didn't record. That's why we didn't record last week.
Yes.
Why we didn't record 2 weeks ago is my fault because my wife and I celebrated our 25th wedding anniversary, which I can't believe I'm old enough to have been married for 25 years, but I
Hey,
am.
it's the silver. Did you get her something made out of silver?
I did not. I got her a trip to Uray, which actually she put together almost exclusively. So I don't know that I got her anything other than my presents, which is probably gift enough.
You are the gift, Craig. You
That's
are
right.
the gift.
We're at the age where we're like, let's not spend our money on buying each other things. Let's just go do stuff together.
Yeah,
So that's
I can get that.
kind of what we do. Kind of what we do. But we had a really good time. We went up to Uray, Colorado, which I had never been to before, and I cannot recommend it highly enough. It is the most dramatic Colorado mountains I have ever seen. The San Juans up there are amazing. Like it's called the Switzerland of North America, and for a reason. Like they look like the freaking Alps, man. Like it's
Oh,
awesome.
that city that looks like the Swiss city.
Yeah, it totally does. Like it's beautiful. Like
That's cool.
it is probably the prettiest place I've ever been to in Colorado. Not, and I'm not trying to denigrate anywhere else in Colorado because Colorado has awesome places to go see. But it was so pretty. It was great. We had a wonderful time. We went on a Jeep tour, which
A
was super
Jeep
fun.
tour.
Dude, so fun, so fun. They basically have like this Jeep that like the back of it has this weird like it's almost like a chariot kind of thing on the back of it. It's got 2 rows
Hmm.
of bleacher seats basically, and you just
Oh,
sit out there in the open air, and the guy drives the Jeep, and like he took us up this big mountain pass where like it's just gravel roads and like there's nothing there. Like there's no civilization anywhere. We went
Mm,
up this path called Ophir Pass, and you literally can't see any. Well, there's some power lines in a few of the places,
right.
but you're taking pictures of these like giant valleys and stuff where there's no civilization. It's just like marmots and deer and beautiful
We love
scenery.
marmots.
Dude, marmots are great. They're these weird little fat guys that and they don't the noises they make sounds like a train whistle. They're pretty
Yeah, oh,
fun.
yeah. They're cute.
They're
But
very cute.
have you ever been to Alaska? Just started
I,
out there.
I have not been to Alaska because it's very far away, but and it's
Mm.
very cold. I'll probably never go to Alaska, but yeah,
Eek.
I'm sure Alaska's amazing in probably a better way than that. But it was really cool to see for
Oh,
this
I
city
bet.
kid. I had a good time. So we did that. We had a great time. What the first night we were there, there's this guy. His name is Eugene something or other. His website's like eugenemusic.com. And what he
Okay.
for the last 12 years, he like was living in Israel, and he went out and saw this guy who was like being a troubadour basically, and just putting his hat out for money. And he saw this guy make decent amount of money in one night. He's like, I could do that. I like to play. And so he like got really good at playing his guitar, and like he bought a van, and all he does is he lives in his van and he drives around the country putting on concerts like every night in different towns. And he's really good. He will do a bunch of covers, and his covers are really cool. I really enjoyed them. And then he also will play his own music. And then, so
Hmm.
my wife and I, we just kind of like, oh, let's check this out for a little bit. We ended up being there for like almost 2 hours, just
Oh,
listening to him
wow.
play because it was such a cool concert. And so I was in love with this guy. I'm like, this guy's amazing. I want to get all of his music. Then I started listening to his music. His music is very good, but he has a couple of songs. One's like talking about how Trump is going to save America, and one was talking about like how RFK is going to make America healthy again or something. And I was just like, oh, I wanted to
Huh.
like you so much, but it kind of hurt my soul a little bit that he was a nice
I'm just
guy.
gonna say it right now. We're gonna read this into the record. RFK is a lizard person.
Oh, okay. I I
Like,
mean, the way he talks all by itself, I believe you, but then all of his beliefs on top of it. It almost would be more of a surprise if he wasn't a lizard person.
I'm pretty sure he's a lizard person,
Okay,
and
that has been.
which would explain his weird fascination with breast milk.
He keeps getting into my house via the RFK door. I don't know why we don't lock that.
What? He just like skitters around.
Yes. Why is RFK in the house again? He got in through the RFK door. Dang it.
And he just says, "There's a study," and then like mumbles and just skitters away.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, you're a
RFK.
do recommend. RFK door, do not recommend.
Do
Get
not
that thing
recommend.
sealed up. Get that sealed up. So,
Oh,
oh,
all
so
right.
yeah. Apart from that, nothing much happened. I've been working from home. I got a new washing machine. Oh, I should tell you this. They delivered our new washing machine yesterday, and we paid like the extra like $30 for them to install it and bring it into my house because then I didn't have to bring it into my own house and install it myself, and that
Mm,
seemed worth $30 to me.
mm.
And when they bring it into your house, I know it's lazy, but I
It
just
is
didn't want
lazy.
I just didn't want to deal with it.
Craig,
Um,
another demerit.
yes, yes, score. Anyway, what was I gonna say? I got so excited about my demerit. Oh, these two guys come in with it, and they have this cool thing that if we would have had a few months ago, Brian, it would have saved us a lot of effort. It's like this weird sling that they put over their shoulders and necks and stuff, and
Oh
then like
yeah.
they put it underneath the washing machine, and then they just walk in with it, and like it looks so much easier than lifting it.
Yes. I
It was
yes.
it
I
was
was
awesome.
thinking about that. I was like, oh man, I should get one of those.
It
So I
was
think
cool.
that's my next big boy purchase.
Yeah. I don't even think I don't think it would be that expensive. It's just like a sling kind of thing. So I don't know. Maybe it's like $50 or something, but it would be worth it if you have to move again.
Yeah.
Because it was cool. So they just like walked it in, and I'm like, that's so amazing. Like I was so excited about their little sling. And now I have a new washing machine that plays a song every time it's done, and it makes me so happy because it's like it's like it's an LG brand one, and apparently they sing
Oh yeah.
songs. They did. And I've never had a washing machine sing songs to me, but
Hmm.
I'm really here for it. I really, really, really like it, and I'm gonna start doing loads of laundry just so I can hear it sing.
Mm,
My wife will be so happy.
mm.
Why? There's 4 socks in the washing machine. Why? It's like, well, I was feeling down. I wanted
I wanted the song. I
I
wanted the
wanted the
song.
washing machine to give me a little bit of a pick me up. So yeah,
Yeah.
so
Well,
there's that.
well, you know what else it's time for? You know what time it is?
It does feel like it's about that time. Well, how long? What time is it? Oh my gosh, we've got 40 minutes of preamble. Yeah, we
Yes,
are. It's a good thing you alerted the affiliates.
I did. Yes, I wanted them to be
Yes,
aware.
that's good. That's good. Yeah, Brian. The news!
And then you blow up the speakers.
Yeah, well, I like to mix it up so people don't know what to
So
expect.
I will say I don't want to like give too much of the too much way of where I work, but there is one absolutely hilarious thing that I find, and one of our reporters is on the sad boy beat. So all he does is all these super super sad stories, right? Like, and then the orphans were not able to be saved from the orphan crushing machine, right? Shit like that, right? And
Orphans,
and
too extreme for Buffalo.
too extreme. Where are their children? We don't know. They're up late smoking dope. Anyways, so anyways, he's always doing these like super sad boy stories, right? But in the industry, you record typically 3 out cues, right? So your
Okay.
out is like, a neutral one, like Tom Johnson, News 4, or Tom Johnson, Eyewitness News 28, or and then a sad one that's like Tom Johnson, Denver 12. You're like, oh, okay. But this guy does not have any of those. He just has the regular upbeat one.
Oh no!
So every time he'll be like, and all the children could not be saved from the burning bus. Tom Johnson, Buffalo 31, and like Jesus Christ.
So mix that one up there, Tom Johnson. Is he assigned only sad stories, or does he like go out and look for them?
I think it's just what he's been finding and doing lately, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know.
I like the sad boy beat. That's funny.
Yeah, but it's the sad boy beat, and it's really funny because like every time, it's just so fucking funny. I can't get over because I'm like, it'll be like, and the murderer was never caught. Tom Johnson. And the explosion in the background, fucking like lasers. Yeah, and it's like, dude, what the fuck? We just heard about how this guy hate crimed a bunch of people, and he's like all happy about it and shit. Anyways, sorry. Proceed.
Okay, I'm just gonna say one thing about those news outro things. There was this lady when I was growing up here in Denver locally, back when I knew who was on local news because I would actually watch it. No offense.
Mm-hmm.
And she was Hispanic, but she sounded like the whitest person in the world. Like
and Trujillo?
No. This is before your time here. I don't think she's. I honestly don't know if she might still be on the air because I haven't watched a local news broadcast in a very long time. Again, no offense. I just not my thing.
Why do you assume I'd be offended? I don't watch local news either.
Okay, well, your entire livelihood is based off of local news, so I'm treading lightly on that. But she would tell it like she would do her whole story in the whitest voice possible, and then her sign off was always Margarita Ceballos, 9 News.
I love that.
It was awesome. No, I am not saying it as a negative. It was so cool, but she said it with the most Hispanic flair possible, and it was awesome.
So in the industry, we call that adding some fuego. So she added a lot of fuego.
So much fuego. Like the entire world was on fire with her fuego. Yes.
Yeah, it was great. I love that. There was another one for CBS for a long time. Her name was Maria Villarreal. And so Scott Paley would be like, we'd say shit like, and then we find out more. Here's Maria Villarreal. And then she would do her thing, sound super, kind of like Midwestern, and then Maria Villarreal. You're like, oh.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway.
I'm glad to know it's like a thing.
It's a thing.
Every time.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Every time she did it, I was like, Margarita Ceballos. I was like, okay, you're awesome. Keep doing that. That's cool. So anyhow, I don't have a cool name like that, so Craig Dodge doesn't it just doesn't fly
Why
off.
did it sound Japanese?
I am Craig
Craig
Dodge.
Dodge. Ha 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 ha.
That's a good sign off. Maybe I need to change it.
I think you should. It's like the tallest, whitest dude ever. Craig Dodge. Ha
Dodge.
ha 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 ha.
We can't sign off until we've actually done the news.
Yeah.
So let's
Okay.
start. Let's start so we can finish.
Yes.
Oh, these two stories I've been holding on to for a couple of weeks, and I would not let go of them. So they are slightly outdated. Well, one of
I
them's
don't care.
really outdated.
I
But
don't
it
care.
doesn't matter.
Hit me.
It
Hit
doesn't
me.
matter because this is the kind of story that makes me happy for all of time. So the
Hit me.
first one from the people who brought you Raccoon with a crack pipe.
Yes.
Dateline, San Jose, Costa Rica. Costa Rican criminals are on like another level entirely, Brian. They're doing their own thing, and I am excited for the potential
Excellent.
of Costa Rican criminals, Brian. Because these particular two Costa Rican criminals, what they did is they led police on a high-speed chase through Costa Rica.
Okay.
And sadly, the details are slightly lacking on this story because it comes from South America, and they found a video and they turned it into a news story. So I don't have a ton of details, but the details I do have are pretty glorious. These two criminals, apparently they had a record and they were being chased because the police found them.
Right.
They went on a high speed chase along the Central American country's Pacific coast, and then finally they were apprehended.
Boo.
And I know. Well, sometimes the police got to catch you. You know, like I
That's
guess
fair.
it's for the greater good, and it's not American police, so that's a story for a different thing. I don't know. I don't know how the Costa Rican police are on the fascist scale, but we'll see. Yeah, sorry. I'm not anti all cops. I'm not an all cops are bad kind of guy. Just some cops are bad. Some cops are fine, and you never know which is which, so that's fun.
You never know which is which. Well, yeah, all right.
Yeah. All right. Enough politics in my news story. The Costa Rican police captured these two guys, who I don't have their names, which makes me sad. I would like to have their names so I could try to say them. I could enfuego it up a bit, maybe. I don't know,
Yes,
but I
sir.
can't because I don't have that. Although I do have the security minister of Costa Rica, Mario Zamora.
Ooh, love it.
That sounds
Okay.
Japanese too. Every time I try to make it sound Latin, it sounds more Japanese. I don't know what that's
Yeah,
about.
that's you should really look into that. But
I should. Yeah. I'll get with the doctor.
yeah, you should investigate that.
My Latin accent's very Japanese, Doc.
It's
What do you
very
reckon,
bad, yes.
man? They were found with a large supply of crack cocaine. Okay, that's somewhat normal for a
Yeah.
criminal. Much marijuana. I don't have official amounts. Were
Okay.
caught with crack cocaine and marijuana.
Right.
But here's where it turns into a Craig news story.
Okay.
And 5 capybaras.
Huh.
Right?
Didn't
I don't-
expect that.
Why would you? Why would anyone expect that?
They
yeah,
found 7 tons of black tar heroin, 8 tons of marijuana, 39 kilos of crack cocaine, and 8 capybaras?
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, capybaras are the world's largest rodents. They are a South American aquatic rodent. They are adorable.
And probably the most chill creatures ever.
Oh my goodness, yeah. They can just sit there as pelicans try to swallow them, and they don't even care. Yeah. So there were just 5 capybaras on the back of the bus, and then this Mario Zamora, who I just said it like a white guy because I don't want to sound Japanese when I'm trying to sound Latin. Yeah, said that this is the first time that they've ever captured anyone with capybaras before. Apparently it's illegal. They're not native to Costa Rica, and so they can't be released into the wild. So they're at a animal rescue place right now in Costa Rica, and they're just probably living their best life because capybaras don't care.
Yeah, they're pretty chill.
Yeah. So they're taken to a refuge for environmental and conservation education program, and they're just hanging out there until the government of Costa Rica decides what to do with 5 capybaras. But I just love the fact that criminals are driving around with all sorts of illicit drugs and very large rodents.
Yeah.
I don't understand it, but it makes me happy that was there. Although they probably weren't being treated very very nicely, would be my guess. I doubt
Well,
they
I
had
mean,
their
to be fair, capybaras are super chill, so they'd
yeah.
probably just be like, "Oh, you're feeding me kibble? All right, whatever."
All right, whatever. Can I have a little of that crack?
Can you hand me that meth? Thanks.
Yeah. Maybe that's the way you make a capybara list.
Ooh,
Mello. You give.
I got
crack.
one. I got the new horror movie, CRACKYBARA.
There you go. Very nice.
Yeah.
They go from super chill to just eating everyone's face off.
Yeah,
So,
there you go. Yeah.
all right, we go from a story which I had very little details on to a story that the details in this make it, Brian. The reason this was in the news is because this man was just found guilty of fraud, money laundering, and witness tampering in connection
Ooh,
with a
the
35
trifecta.
million. Yeah, in connection with a $35 million investment fraud scheme.
Ooh,
And he was
wait, Ponzi or pyramid?
well, I don't know. I don't have all of the details of his actual crimes. I just know
Damn.
that he got a bunch of people to elicit elicit. What am I trying to say? He solicited funds from them, and then he started using them for various personal and business expenses,
Mm,
including the purchase of two residential properties. So basically,
mm.
he was just taking other people's money and then like buying things with it for
Oh,
himself.
okay.
Yeah, that kind of fraud. So I don't think it was even
Got
a
it.
Ponzi scheme. It was just I'm a liar who's going to take your money and just spend it because that's what I'm doing. He did end up paying back about 8.8 million of the 35 million dollars that he had invested with him, but that's not a very good return. Yeah, so he's pleaded guilty to fraud and witness tampering and money laundering. So not a super great guy. This is in Shasta County, California.
Ooh.
The reason, which is like way north of San Francisco. It's out in the part of California that like no one ever goes because there's nothing up like between San Francisco and Oregon.
Right.
It's like the dead man zone where there's like I don't know.
Yeah,
There's
not a
nothing
lot of
there.
there.
Not a lot of there. So, but apparently there is Shasta Lake and this guy's $35 million investments where he just buys other people's stuff. So he was suspected of this. This has all happened. All of this gathering money and stuff up and spending it illicitly happened between 2015 and 2020. And he was arrested in 2020, in November
Mm,
of 2020, and he just now was convicted. So the justice system moves slowly, Brian, because that was 5 years ago. But
right.
he has been convicted, and he's going to be sentenced in September. So I can't tell you how long he's going to spend in prison
Right.
for his crime. But the reason we're talking about this man named Matthew Piercy, who is 48 years old, so he's my age,
Hmm.
is because when the police came to arrest him.
Okay.
This guy's amazing. He hopped in a car and led the police on a car chase. So there's a lot of that happening in the news this week.
Right.
He led them on a car chase and he drove to Lake Shasta, and we're talking super northern California
Right.
in November. It was cold, so he goes to Lake Shasta and he jumps out of his car and he grabs his Yamaha 350 Li underwater submersible device.
Okay.
The best way to describe this is an underwater water scooter, I guess you could say.
Yeah. I know what you're
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about.
Okay. It can move underwater at speeds in excess of 4 miles per hour.
4. You're talking 4? Like
Four.
4. Okay.
Four
Not 4D.
miles per hour.
4.
No, 4.
Okay.
4 miles per hour. This was his escape plan, Brian. He jumps into a frigid lake with a
Oh
scooter
my
that can
god.
go
Okay.
4 miles an hour, and he doesn't have time to put on a wetsuit. So he's in the lake for 20 minutes in an underwater submersible device, and the police are just standing on the side of the lake watching the bubbles
Yep. That's
until 20 minutes later when he's really, really cold and he comes out and he gets arrested. So his plan to evade
love
the
it.
cops is drive to the lake and try to get away from the cops on a device that can go all the way up to 4 miles per hour.
I feel like you could swim faster than that, but I'm not an
do
expert.
too! You can walk at like 3.5 miles per hour at a relatively easy pace. So I'm not sure what exactly he was thinking he was going to get away with here. But
Yep.
the fact
Okay.
The fact that this was his plan makes me so happy because it's the dumbest
That's
thing ever.
that's amazing.
It's so good. So his sea scooter didn't turn out to be his salvation. He gets arrested, and then he gets in more trouble when he's in jail because he starts trying to use coded communications from jail to
Oh
direct
Jesus.
to direct two different individuals to dispose of his U-Haul storage locker that he had rented. He was using his code. Apparently, the code wasn't very good. Hard to believe from the guy who thought that he could get away from the
Oh,
cops in a
criminal mastermind.
4
Like
per
he
hour.
he
Yeah,
thought about
exactly.
this.
It's like if Ethan Hunt was mentally deficient, basically. Instead of hanging on the back of an airplane, he's just
Right.
putting around a frozen lake on a scooter. Um,
That's amazing.
yeah, the two guys who were trying to dispose of his storage locker were caught, and the
Yeah.
FBI search of the locker. This is turned up 31,000 Swiss francs, which is roughly $37,000 American in cash.
Damn.
Uh, hey, wait, no. This is the good part. And a wig. That was what was in the locker. 31,000 Swiss francs and a wig. He was trying to get them to get rid of that. That also got caught. So that was part of why he also was trying to threaten people who were going to testify against him from prison. And it turns
Okay.
out that's not legal either. So he got caught doing that, and that was why he has witness tampering added to all of his charges.
Jeez.
So he faces a maximum penalty of 20 years in prison for each count of wire fraud, mail fraud, witness tampering, and money laundering. His sentencing is scheduled for September 4th, Brian. So,
Amazing.
Matthew Piercy. Dumb guys, Ethan Hunt.
Ah.
I'm
Well.
Craig, and that is
Nope.
the news. No. Wait.
No.
Wait. Craig Dodge, news.
Craig Dodge, the news. Ho, 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 ho.
I don't think
Now,
that's
I
quite
just
as
want to
good.
make sure. I just want to make everyone know that we're not making fun of the
No!
language. We're making fun of the fact that like all Japanese
All
villains
Japanese laugh like
play
that.
it
Yes,
the same way. They play it the same way every time.
Every time.
I think that's my favorite. One of my favorite running gags.
It's really good. Oh yes, I'm going to stick with I'm Craig, and that is the news.
There you go. Okay, so I promised you last time we were talking about Japanese Spider-Man or
And we have to
Spider-Man.
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 Okay.
So in Japanese, they don't have stop P's or stop T's. So yeah, they just don't. So it would be Spider-Man, essentially. And it has
What is this? What is a stop P? I don't understand what that means.
So they don't have. So spider isn't
Yeah.
a normal word. Like they don't have. Like the language doesn't support the SP sound.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right. Sometimes, in some way, sometimes, I mean, they've kind of like jerry-rigged a lot of stuff. So special is a word,
Okay.
but it sounds like special. So
Okay.
it's, anyways.
They just don't have that sound in their language, so it feels very
Correct.
weird when I put those together.
Correct.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah. So
It's
anyways,
like it's like German people trying to say squirrel. Have you ever seen that video?
no, I looked up though.
You will have to look it up. German people trying to say squirrel
That's amazing.
it's very wonderful. They can't do it. It's totally contrary to everything in their brain. So anyway, yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, so it was a live action. Spider-Man is a live action tokusatsu, so it's basically thinks Power Rangers. It was basically
Yes.
like Power Rangers. Yeah. Big note. The big departure is obviously he is in rural Japan, and he says, "I'm the emissary of hell, Spider-Man," which I think they really missed the mark on that. But
Emissary of hell?
dead ass. He says, "I am the emissary of hell, Spider-Man." Like that's his catchphrase.
Okay. I didn't know that. That's weird, Brian.
Yeah, they kind of missed. They missed that. But anyways, it aired from 78 to 79 under direction of Stan Lee, who loved it, thought it was great, and he basically wore the same costume as the normal Spider-Man, but he also piloted a giant robot called Leopardon, which he would summon to fight giant monsters.
Yeah, I've seen this.
Yes. So basically, Takuya Yamashiro is a motorcycle racer, and he witnesses a UFO falling to Earth, and is like, "What's that?" And it's basically a space warship called the Marveler. His dad, Takuya's father, is basically killed finding the spaceship because he is the coolest job ever, space archaeologist.
Okay.
Space archaeologist.
How do you have an archaeological dig in space?
Man, I don't have these. You know what? You gotta suspend your disbelief. Okay.
Okay. You ask a lot of questions, Craig.
You do ask a lot of questions. So basically, there is a alien group called the Iron Cross Army, who is led by Professor Monster. Great names there.
That's a really good name. How did they come up with that?
I don't know. Lots and lots and lots of workshopping.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So
The public testing they did on that name, it was very expensive.
Very expensive. And so he basically, the main guy, Takuya, follows his father into the Marveler and discovers. So the name is Garia, which I'm like 90% positive is Gary in English. But I could be wrong. And Gary is the last surviving warrior of Planet Spider, which was destroyed by Professor Monster.
Oh, poor Professor, or not poor Professor Monster. He's a monster.
Yeah, you're thinking of Gary.
Poor Gary.
So basically, Gary is like, hey, I need someone to fight Professor Monster and his weird army. So he basically injects this dude, Takuya, with some of his blood, giving him spider powers. Also, a bracelet that lets him activate his spider costume, shoot web lines.
Yeah. When I was drawing Spider-Man for our Pope episode a few weeks ago, I was really confused by why there's this giant bracelet on Spider-Man. So I'm really happy to hear about this because it didn't make any sense because the American Spider-Man does not wear a gigantic gaudy bracelet.
Yes, but also the bracelet also lets him control the Marveler, which transforms into Leopardon, which you must always say, "Go Leopardon, do 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 do, Spider-Man." Just listen to Kakaro Spider-Man. It's amazing. It's so good.
The music is so good from this show.
It's so good.
I have watched a lot of it because Brian sent me many of them. And as long as you don't care about understanding what's happening, it's really fun to watch because the music kicks butt. I mean, it just slaps so hard. And the visuals, wow, complete nonsensical. You have no idea who's good, who's bad, what's happening, or like little dolls get possessed by things get big and small. Things jump when you don't expect them to. It's a whole nightmare disaster of nonsensical narrative, but it's really fun to watch.
I mean, have you watched a Power Rangers show?
No, never in my life.
Oh, okay. Well.
So.
Okay, well there you go.
I'm old, Brian. Power Rangers was a little kid thing by the time it came around. When I was, and I was like,
that was like what 1991 or so. So okay, I see it. All right. Well, anyways, that's kind of how it is, and he goes around and fights monsters, and the practical effects are actually it pioneered practical effects.
Yes, it was really fun to watch.
And they also, it was the first time I believe there was ever a giant pilotable mech robot thing in Japanese tokusatsu films. I believe. I'm not 100% on that.
What?
Yeah.
The first time that happened?
Yeah. Well, because a lot of times it was just animated stuff, right?
Oh, so, I see. Okay.
Yeah. I want to say this is like the pioneer of that, or it has something to do with that. I'm not 100% sure. But I just want to tell you, you can also watch this you can watch a feature-length documentary on Disney Plus called Earth 716 or whatever it is, Earth 415 or whatever, and it's great. It's awesome. It's highly worth watching. And then you can also watch all of Spider-Man for free on YouTube. But I just want to read out some of these titles for you. Fearful Hit Tune! ! Song Dancing Murder Rock.
Song Dancing Murder Rock? Okay.
Yes. Motion Accessory is a loveful beetle insect spy.
Those are just words. That doesn't make any sense at all.
Becoming Splendid, : to the murderous machine of transformation.
These are so good.
Famous Dog, Run back to father.
Back to father. Oh,
Yes.
I feel like something's being lost in translation, or maybe these make no sense in Japanese either. Who's to say?
So all the old school shows used to have like crazy things like this. Like the titles were always like Giant Spider, the love of a good woman, and you're like, what the fuck? So yeah, they don't really make a lot of sense. This one is a classic riddle, calling the riddle of my secret birth! Exclamation point.
Riddle, calling the riddle of my secret birth.
Correct.
Well,
Oh,
we have so much work to do on titling this episode because it's got to have a weird
yes.
Japanese influence to it for sure.
Yeah. Okay. There's more though, and as soon as I saw these, I had to read the best ones.
Okay.
To the Love Academy of the Homeless Children.
To the Love Academy of the Homeless Children.
Yeah. Cockroach Boy, Great War.
So, like, not making sense was like a whole business plan for Spider-Man.
There is...
Don't say it makes sense. Just don't do it. I'll give you a demerit. I'll give you a demerit.
You know
Brian.
what? It makes sense in the language. It makes sense. And
Okay.
you just have to watch it. But even though the plot makes no sense, it fits somehow.
Okay, somehow it makes sense.
Yeah, I'll take my demerit. But
yeah, Brian, one demerit.
Yes. Here's another one. There is no child taking detective tomorrow.
There is no child detective taking tomorrow.
Yes.
There is no child detective taking tomorrow.
I got two more for you.
It makes sense in the language, I guess.
You got two more. Three more, sorry. The boy teases the horrible wild girl.
Ooh, that sounds saucy.
Yeah. From the unexplored Amazon, here comes the mummified beautiful woman.
That one might be my favorite. That one's really good.
This one might be slightly better. The Onion Silver Mask and the Boys Detective Group.
I don't even know what that means.
I think it's just words.
I definitely think it's just words. Somebody just pulled out an English dictionary and be like, and open it to the page 477, 14th word. Okay, put that in. Onion. Wait, what?
Onion.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Anyways, we have a lot to do. We have a lot to play with here.
We have a lot to play with. Oh my goodness. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the movie pitch this week.
Okay. I think I got one.
Okay, I'll let you go first.
I think I got one. Okay, so a Japanese man. No, I'm going to say a Japanese woman from the mountains. So, like, think, old school Japan, like samurai era, but like modern times, comes down, goes to the big city, I'm going to go to New York and I'm going to be whatever. I'm just going to go to New York. The impetus doesn't really matter. And she's like, oh, wow, this place is filthy. But I guess I'm here. Let me find 6 other roommates. And so she's like living, and then she's like, wow, this is kind of a shithole. And she gets bitten by a tarantula, okay? And so she has tarantula powers, which, aren't that impressive. So anyway, she basically can turn, and she basically like can turn into a giant spider, right? And so she's in New York City, and she's like, oh man, like, I really wish I could get through here. Really wish I could get through traffic. Oh wait, let's just turn into a giant spider. So she's a giant tarantula, and people are like, what the hell is this? There's a giant like tarantula. It turns out that she actually longs for the mountains of home. So she eventually goes back to the mountains of home and can turn to like a giant tarantula. And then along the way, she's like going through these towns and is like, man, there's really nothing here. So she decides to build herself a shack and live off making and selling charcoal, because a lot of places, still use charcoal in Japan. And she's like, and then someone comes up to her, after a little while and is like, we need you to save us from we heard you can transform into a giant tarantula. We need you to save us from these giant, insert big bad here. Basically.
Amazon mummy.
Yes, Amazon mummy
woman.
Yes, she has to fight Amazon mummy women from planet Mamario. I don't know.
Well, no, the spider planet that was destroyed
Oh, that's
by
right. From
Professor
Spider
Munster.
from yes, Spider Planet. Yes. And then it turns out that her sidekick is a monkey, is a weird monkey creature named Greg, and and she does indeed have a Greg door, and so she fights off bad guys in the countryside, and also in the mountains of Colorado for some episode
Sure,
for some reason,
sure, why
and
not?
why not? And there she fights a capybara high on crack, the
Yeah,
Crackybara,
Crackybara. Yes.
and then she has to do things like attack like just weird stuff, has to fight weird creatures, but it turns out it was all a dream, and she's actually a schoolgirl who fell asleep during school.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know. That feels like it was a little weak. Feels like it fell flat, but maybe it turns out she actually no, I got one. She has to go off into space and like like destroy a missile or something that's in the ionosphere, and and for whatever reason when she turns into a tarantula she can breathe in space, and then
Oh, yeah, of course.
she like finally gets rid of reroutes the missile, and is like, well, now I'm stuck in space, floating through space, and she kind of like curls up and like goes into cryo sleep, thus opening it up for a sequel.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, there we
It's
go.
like,
That was a better ending.
it's like in Superman where the bad guys are in that like flat record thing that spins, or
Yeah.
mirror that spins through, and they're just twirling through space, just waiting to come back.
Yes.
I
There
mean,
you go.
tarantulas are well known for being able to breathe in space, so I think everything about this sounds believable and workable. So I'm
Yeah.
happy about this one. Yeah, it works. It works. I've got mine.
Okay.
In a world that's sort of like Brian's half awake, half asleep dream state.
Oh God.
You like that start?
I do
Um,
like that start. You're starting off strong there, Krager.
there are 5 capybaras just living
Ooh.
outside of Brian's house, and Brian's taking a nap, but capybaras keep falling asleep in his lap, and he's like, "How are these capybaras getting in?" It's like, well, they're getting in through the Greg door, of course.
Of course, the Greg door.
Yeah, the Greg door is how the capybaras get in, because I mean, what capybara doesn't want to use a Greg door?
Obviously.
Yeah, so they keep getting in. So Brian keeps getting up and removing the capybaras from his house, and then something mystical happens. The capybaras try to get back in through the Greg door,
Ooh.
but this time it's almost like Narnia. Like they go through the Greg door and
Ooh.
they end up on Professor Monster's spaceship.
Ooh, the Marveler.
The Marveler. Yes, that's correct. They come in contact, not with Professor Monster, thank goodness. He's off world, participating in a space archaeological dig. So
Naturally.
yeah. So he can't be bothered to be on the Marveler at this time. But there is the last surviving gentleman from the spider planet, and he injects the capybaras with spider blood.
Oh my God, yes.
And it doesn't turn them into spiders. It doesn't necessarily give them spider powers, but it does make them, like, I don't know if sentient is the word, but it gives them
Hmm.
super capybara smarts. Like they are suddenly probably more intelligent than any creature that has ever been on Earth, and like
Hmm.
including men or AI. They just know a lot, and they're able to process things and figure things out, and they're very, very intelligent all of a sudden. So they get sent back down from the Marveler back down to Earth, and they end up in Costa Rica. Now,
Okay.
capybaras don't belong in Costa Rica. They've never
Right.
been there before. But they're like, you know what? This place is beautiful. Let's get involved with the mafia,
Oh
uh,
yes. Love it.
because they're going to turn a little bit evil because they're smart, and most really smart people eventually turn a little bit evil. It's
As a
just how it is.
smart person who's a little bit evil, I can confirm.
Yeah, it's just that's how it is. And so the capybaras end up with these 2 guys who are already criminals. They kind of misjudged them, though. They thought they were a little bit higher up in the mafia. They're just some goons. And they
Okay.
end up in a high-speed chase in the back of a vehicle with these 2
Okay.
guys, and the cops are chasing them down. And the cops pull them over, and the cops don't expect the capybaras to be, incredibly intelligent. So they assume that the real masterminds behind this whole plot to have marijuana and crack, um,
Ooh.
are the two guys, but it's not. It's the capybaras. So as they are arresting the two guys who are driving the car, the capybaras hop in the front seat and they just take off down the road in Costa Rica.
Plot twist.
Yeah. So now there's 5 capybaras in a car just joyriding through Costa Rica. And they're like, let's give up on the life of crime. Let's just spend the rest of our days, enjoying Costa Rica. It's beautiful. There's monkeys. Like, there's a lot of great things about this place. We can just settle down here. I don't know. They homestead, and then they take trips to Jersey City every spring.
Of course.
So that they can play Pokemon Go at Go
naturally.
Fest. Yeah. They somehow what I said just alerted my Amazon Kindle to, or whatever that thing is called, the Echo.
The Echo.
Yeah. It started talking. Anyway, sorry, Echo, you don't get to participate in this. They tried driving through New York City because they've had so much fun driving in Costa Rica, but it turns out driving in New York isn't like driving in Costa Rica. And they drive for a little while, but then they're like, this traffic, I don't care for it. So they just leave their car in New York. It was a rental. They didn't care.
Right.
They gave a fake name for it because, they're a little bit evil, like we said. Yeah. But they go to Jersey City. They catch all the shiny Pokemon they can catch. They have a good time playing Pokemon Go. And they just kind of like settled into this life of Pokemon Go. 2 of them have a podcast now.
Oh.
Yeah. They podcast with this guy from Buffalo.
Can't trust any of them.
I know. But actually, it's a capybara who's living in Buffalo.
Okay.
And then another one's in Costa Rica. He used to live in Colorado, but he decided to go to Costa Rica because that's just where most of the capybaras are settling these days. And they have a podcast, and they talk about just whatever
Silly shit.
A lot of 1970s Spider-Man talk.
As one does.
This is getting very meta.
It's pretty meta.
So they have a great life, and they really enjoy their time together as capybaras, and every now and then, every year, to celebrate their wild ride down the Costa Rican highway being chased by cops, they taunt police officers until they start chasing after them, and then they're such good drivers, these capybaras, that there is yet to be a human on Earth that can catch them in a vehicle. So they escape every time from the police chases. But like, it's an annual event now where the capybaras end up getting chased by the cops. They just do it like to celebrate, really.
And they do it for charity.
They do it for charity. They raise money. They take pledges from other capybaras, like on how many miles it'll take before they escape. Yeah, and like the fewer miles it takes, the more money gets raised for charity.
I love this.
Yeah. So it's a feel-good story about criminal capybaras in Costa Rica. It's kind of cliche, but it's a feel-good movie. Exactly. So, so that's a thing that's going to happen in the movies soon. So look for that in your local multiplex soon.
I love that.
Yeah, it's the eternal story of capybaras breaking the law. Breaking the law for charity.
Breaking the law for charity.
Well,
you know what the other? Yeah, it was. You know what the other eternal story is? There's always some good reading material. But just gotta. But it's on the box of Q-tips. And Craig, what do we do with the box of Q-tips?
You have to take the box of Q-tips out, and then you glance at the front. But I mean, that's where people really get mixed up, because they start looking at the front, and you can't get caught up with that. You have to think like a capybara, because a capybara would know instinctively to flip that bad boy.
Yes. Oh God.
If you go to the back side of the box, that's where the real good reading material is.
Yes, of course.
So that's where you want to read, because you know what you should always do, Brian.
Oh, you should always read the back of the Q-tip box.
You should always read the back of the Q-tip box.
Untitled with Brian and Craig is produced and edited by me, Brian Dunnigan. It is also hosted by me, Brian Dunnigan, as well as Craig Dodge. Opening and ending themes are created by AI, so nobody has a license to those.